Okay, Rabbi said tonight I wanted to discuss the dinim of Maror. Dinim close to Pesach. Let's take a look at the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch Sif Chav Zayin. He gives over here a list based on a Mishnah in Pesachim, a list of which vegetables one is yoytze maror with. Elu yirakish adam yoytze meidei chayvas maror. Number one, bechazeres. There's 5 types. Bechazeres, shekoyin salat, Uloshen Ashkenaz, in German it's called salat. Uloshen Sfarad, in Spanish it's called salata. V'shem me'etzem shaloi, the real original name for it is letuga. The Turgama, in Turkish, they call it Tuga. Vitalia, Ashkenaz, Sfar, Portugal, Sifra, Refuis.
What's called in Spanish?
Salata. Nikra Latiga Salat.
No, you said it. What did you say after that? Which language?
Latuga. Latuga is, I think, in Turkish.
Why would that be its name?
Italia. It says in all these countries, in Turkey, in Italy, in Ashkenaz, in Germany, in Sfarad, in Spain, and Portugal, of a Sifrei Harufuis. So it's called Latuga. And in Sifrei Refuis, in the medicine books, Nikra Latiga Salat. Now this is romaine lettuce. This is basically what we call today romaine lettuce. The Shulchan Aruch is giving us a lot of different ways how we should call it, to make sure we have the right one. When it comes Pesach time, this vegetable is only available in warm climates. So in Russia, it's Pesach time, it's cold. There was no romaine lettuce. And it wasn't like today where you had shipments and things being shipped in.
Cold.
You have whatever grows in the area. So they did not have romaine lettuce. Like it says here,
so romaine is not related to Romania.
Not sure why it's called romaine. They're not grown in Romaine. They're grown in California and they're grown in other places, but the Eini Yarek, it's not the vegetable.
Apparently, it comes from the romaine comes from Roman. In other words, the whole Mediterranean basin was called Rome, and apparently, from what I've heard, I haven't confirmed it, but I've just heard stories to this effect that in Eretz Yisrael, originally, the only lettuce they had was this thing which we call today Roman lettuce. Now, this kind of lettuce we have in America, the big ball, that was not found in that area of the world. But it
says it originated in the Greek island of Kos, off the coast of Turkey.
Like romaine lettuce?
Yeah,
so
originated on the Greek island of Kos.
Yeah, okay.
So the word romaine comes from Roman? Why was it called romaine? How do they spell romaine?
Romaine.
Interesting.
But some hold that the round lettuce, what do you call it? There's a word for it, the round lettuce.
Iceberg?
What?
Iceberg?
Latiga, does it say anything about Latiga salad?
It's not related. Iceberg and romaine are not the same thing.
Well, there's a debate about that. But they're not the same thing exactly, but it's sort of like...
it's like it.
I mean, they don't taste...
What else do they say about it?
Much different. And they don't look much different. It's just like a...
History of romaine lettuce. Washington Post. Oh, here we go. They say it's an ancient popular food. And it was... it's the oldest lettuce. It's long because it's upright, long-leaved, and its ancestors on full display in the Egyptian bas reliefs. It's in the Egyptian reliefs from the 3rd millennium. It was in Egypt. And the reason why the French called it romaine was, like he said, because it came from the gardens of the dopes. But they say it's not true. It's not really from the Kas Islands. The Syrian gardeners use them. Okay.
They don't mention anything about Jews using it?
No. But they don't say it's a hot weather crop. It's a cool weather crop.
Well,
Wait a minute. This is the Shulchan Aruch Harav? Okay, so it says here, he's all these names he's calling to Chazeret.
yeah.
Okay, now... Okay, well...
Well, soon we're going to have other names.
Wait,
The Eine Hanikra Zerzuch B'Lashon Poland. It's not the Polish vegetable called Zerzuch.
Yes, definitely not.
Yeah.
So
So that's all in Chazaris. This is Chazaris. Now Ulshin, Shekorin, and Divi. You're also Yoitz with Ulshin, which people call Andivi, which is probably means endives or
And
something.
Other authorities, Dr. Davison, traced it back to the Aramaic word for lettuce, which is kus.
No,
That's not
not such
connected
a word
to
here.
Lutuga.
No, the Aramaic, the Gemara itself translates Chazeret. Today they call Chazeret horseradish, which is totally
Not true,
not
right? Not
true.
correct. Right.
Okay, but in the Gemara...
Oh, they have romaine lettuce maybe used in the past as a type of bitter herb.
Yeah, so in the Gemara they translate Chazeret into Aramaic as Chasa.
Yeah.
And Rambam says that Chasa is what's called in Arabic Chasa. Until today,
They call it in Arabic, called
yeah,
Chasa?
if you want to buy lettuce in the Arab shuk, you have to ask for Chasa.
Interesting.
So this whole business about
So you have Chazaris, you have Ulshin. A third type is Tamcha, Shekoin Krain, which is Chrein. Mertach, Ubelaz, Merubia. In the Russian language, it was called Merubia. You're also Yoitze B'Charchavina, Shekoin Ba'arabi. You know Arabic? Arabic is called Al-Kertzina. Al-Kertzina.
I don't know what that is.
And Maror. Maror, the actual word Maror is for a specific, there's a general term Maror, and there's a specific vegetable which is called Maror, Shekarim Vermut, B'Lashon Ashkenaz. In German, it's called Vermut. Ulana, some type of bitter herb. What's the reason why we have 5 different types? The Vishanemer B'Torah Maror Stam. The Torah just says Maror. The Kibulu Chachamim Shein Shum Min Yarak Mar Nikav Shei Maror Stam. It's not that any bitter vegetable is called Maror. Lahei Min Yirakas El. The Messiah is only these specific 5 Yirakas. That's what the Torah meant. Person can't just pick up any vegetable and say, oh, this is very hot, and therefore I'm going to take it. Now, Lamaisa, what's interesting over there, what is our minig? We have here Chazares, which is the romaine lettuce, and we have later on the third type is Tamcha, which is Chrein. So what happened was that since in Russia they didn't have salad, they didn't have romaine lettuce, they used to use Chrein.
Now that itself is extremely problematic. Why? Because the Gemara explains that the Mishnah has these 5 things, and the Gemara explains that all these 5 things, it has to be the leaves, but not the root. Now, horseradish is the root.
Okay, so we'll see.
So it can't.
We'll see soon about that.
It can't be one of these 5.
We'll see soon. First, I wanted to say like this. Let's first jump to Sif Lamed, and we're going to go back to discuss the roots. But I want to discuss why we, first of all, point out why we're using Chrein and what's the preferable Maror to use. In Sif Lamed, the Alter Rebbe brings Afa Pisha Kol Heiminim Elon Ekreim Maror B'Lashon Torah. All 5, second page Sif Lamed. All 5 are called Maror. Kol Makim D'Risoyfim Midrabanan. It's a mitzvah lachzach chazares. A person should specifically try to pursue after chazares, the romaine lettuce. I feel the knoisei b'dam yikarim, even to buy it for a lot of money. Aldera she's bar b'simitav shemavavli and esek hadar. Like we talk about the amount of money a person has to spend to buy mahudadika esrik. Avobisha chazares imimiris. A person asks, why should I run after chazares? Chazares is not bitter. Romaine lettuce is not bitter. Kalmaking shushoya bekarka. If one leaves it in the ground, miskasha keloshala, the stick becomes hard. Menasa mar ma'oid, becomes very bitter.
Actually,
V'kach
it's
nikas mar. Stems. And that's why it's called maror, because now we're tasting it's not bitter. Now, mitzvah lachza achareh afshi mesuka. The mitzvah is that you should buy it even when it's still sweet.
Wow.
Why? Shemitzvah's maror hizeicher l'masha maror ha'mitzim is chayav v'seina avedas perach. V'heim nishtabdu hem betchilo ferach. In the beginning, they started off with a soft tongue. They told us, we'll pay you, and Aidei Piyusim, and Aslam Schar. In the beginning, they had to start to work, so we talked them into it. In the ending, they made their lives bitter. In the beginning, it's sweet and soft. In the ending, it becomes hard and bitter. Its stem, eskashakates, becomes tough like a stick. The nasemar kilana becomes bitter like the lana, which is the most bitter of the 5 types of mar.
I always learned that it left a bitter taste in your actual mouth.
Now the minig Chabad is that we take these two together, but we take some of the grain and some of the lettuce together, and that's how we make the mar and the karich.
And that's from one of the Rebbeim?
It says in the Sefer Menhagim.
Yeah, but
Where does this come from originally? The mice is like this. In Russia, they didn't have romaine lettuce. So they took, for many hundreds of years, Klal Yisrael was taking, and these countries were taking chrein. That's what you have in Russia. You have chrein. When I went to Russia, we made a seder in Russia. There was no romaine lettuce. They didn't know what we were talking about. We went into the marketplaces. I mean, I'm sure in Moscow, in the big cities, you can get whatever you want, but we're talking in a little city, a shtetl, they didn't have everything you want. This was a specialty item. They had chrein. They had nice big chunks of chrein, and you grind them.
no shortage of them in Russia.
You know? So, Lamaisa, that's what they had. They came to warmer climates. They moved to New York, to America, and things like that, and people were able to get lettuce. They were able to get romaine lettuce. So the minig became to take some of both. But the reality is that the real maror, that most mitzvah muvcher is to take the romaine lettuce, because this most symbolizes what happened. The maror. So maror, we don't have to actually have something bitter in our mouth. We could be tasting them as sweet. But it's something which eventually it's symbolic of the paradach in the beginning, and then which turned into the farach.
He says here, letuga is for the Spanish translation of lettuce.
Latuga?
Yeah, lechuga. Here it says when we say that lettuce is, it's called lechuga.
The Alter Rebbe, it's interesting where he got the lashon from.
Lechuga.
Yeah.
And in the letuga, and that's exactly how they have it here. Spanish.
You know what tortuga in Spanish?
It means
Slow.
lettuce.
Like a frog. Frog is tortuga.
You know Arabic, right? Al-Kertzina. Al-Kertzina, you know what this is? A type of vegetable? Al-Kratzina. Al-Kartzina.
You don't
Or
pronounce it.
Al-Kachina. Al-Kachina. Is there a cha in Arabic? Is there a cha?
What?
Is there a
Yeah,
ch
you have to.
sound?
Yeah.
In Lashon Kodesh, there's no such a... So, Lamaisa, the source for the Shulchan Aruch Harav is from the Chacham Tzvi, the father of the Rabbi Yaakov Emden. He has in the Shalos Tshuvos Kuf Yutes, he says a very interesting point over here. He says, "This case is a rabbin be'ingem mitzvah achilas maror." Right after the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch. It's the fourth page. I feel it's important to let it be known. Chazares, which is called in our Mishnah, Chachamim call it, the Gemara language is Chasa in Aramaic. This is the first one mentioned in our Mishnah. So the first mention in the Mishnah is the most appropriate. And here he gives the language which the Alter Rebbe took later on for the Shulchan Aruch. Hu ayarik was the vegetable nikra b'lashon Ashkenaz salat, b'lashon Sfarad salata, b'shem etzem shel latuga, b'chol halashenis. In all languages, the proper form of calling it is latuga. Shemaiti, Betorgama, Vatalia, Ashkenaz, Sfarad, Portugal, all these countries I heard that this is the way they call it. V'sifrei Afuis Vatem, I'm reading the Shuvas Chacham Tzvi right after the Alter Rebbe Shulchan The aim by Shum Safik a Pikbook Boyel. There's no Safik and Pikbook in the world that this is Maror. V'yeshle has-simonim ha'amurim b'Gemara. It has the simonim that the Gemara gives, sraf, that it has like a juice. Upon machsifim, it turns white. V'tchila seirach v'soif kosh. In the beginning, it tastes soft, and the ending it becomes tough. Tchila seimbas. In the beginning, it's sweet. V'soif, you leave it in the ground, it becomes mar kilana, because really bitter. Now, Mipnei Shabarat is Ashkenaz Aploinia, because in German, the countries of Germany and Poland, Shinkaris, they were cold, and in Matzib Zman Pesach, it wasn't around Pesach time like the Alter Rebbe writes. People did not have the custom to take it from Mitzvah Mar. Or, or the people in these countries in Europe were not familiar with the different names of vegetables, like the people that lived near Eretz Yisrael or in Babel, that they knew. So therefore, in these countries in Europe, Lakhu Krain, they took the Krain, Shutamcha, the Fidas mixes Chacham.
Sure, what?
This is considered the Tamcha according to
What Tamcha meant?
Krain.
Maror.
Yeah. Menafim Nei Chorba, and they became a big disaster, said the Chacham Tzvi, because of this. That we're not using lettuce. It's so bitter, just to eat the Chrein itself is very bitter. So you have a lot of people, they're not even eating half a kazayis. It's very hard to eat it bitter, raw. They don't really do the mitzvah mar properly. Even those that are not from the Amor, it's the Charedim. But they are making sure to eat a kazayis. It's a sakana for them to eat so much charedim. In places where you have chazaras, which is the latuga salad, Amsterdam and Hamburg, Ashkenaz, those cities in Germany, they did have it available. Not sure what he means. Denokatam means the vegetable still small. So those areas where you have available romaine lettuce, using the chrein, I say is sakana. It's not a mitzvah because you have romaine lettuce. Even if it's very expensive. Hamburg and Divin, the vegetables they call in the Hamburg endives, Amsterdam and Divy, who ulshin, that's ulshin, Hashem Mishnah saying we learn our Mishnah. We don't have latuga salat. So Bekitzer, the best thing really is romaine lettuce. And places where you have only, places that are taking only chrein, it's not good because a lot of people are not going to eat the full kazayis.
But they have a white grain also.
So what we do is, our minig is that Hiyois for so many hundreds of years we were taking chrein. So our people are used to chrein. So we take chrein, and we take, the main thing we take is the lettuce. Now you have the main lettuce, and you put a few pieces of chrein inside. For some reason, you don't have to have a kazayis for both, but for some reason the Rebbe, people that were watching the Rebbe say that it seemed like the Rebbe took a kazayis from both. You see in the first page, in Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, in Sif Chav Ches, it says, Chamishim minim alolo mitzarfes l'kazayis. All these 5 types can be combined together. You don't need a kazayis of each. So if you're going to be eating some chrein, some romaine lettuce, you just need to have one kazayis of both. The Rebbe, for reasons unknown to us, would take a full kazayis of romaine, and then they saw how the Rebbe took a whole kazayis of the chrein, and he put it together. And then, after that wasn't enough. He went and took a piece of chrein that wasn't ground up, a nice good piece, and he ate it all together.
And what was that for? We don't know.
His rebbetzin was very hard. She used to come from the women were eating in the kitchen. They had the seder in the kitchen, and the men were in the dining room. So she would come to watch by the door as the Rebbe ate the matzah and the maror. She knew how hard it was. She was concerned. She was busy watching him, and the Rebbe used to. It was very hard for the Rebbe. He was very red.
Tears.
But we don't know why. But people have said that Rebbe took a whole thing, and he used to also. There used to be any of the water that was there. He used to squeeze it out to have just a. Yeah, no problem with the beira.
No schita.
So Chachila Tziyamtif is different than him.
Who was at the Rebbe's Seder?
He didn't say anything to anyone to do with this.
No, I'm saying, which people came to his Sederim?
Oh, the Seder was open to the public. The Seder of the Rebbe used to have a Seder both nights. What used to be is that the Rebbe used to conduct a Seder in his father-in-law's house, in the Frierdiker Rebbe's house, where his father-in-law used to have, after his father-in-law was nifter, he still continued to have the Seder in his father-in-law's house.
How many people there?
Because his father-in-law was still alive, the Alter Rebbetzin was still there, so she used to make the Seder there like it was before when her husband was the Rebbe, and the whole family would get together, and the older Hasidim would be invited to sit around the table. But the Bachrim, all regular people, had their own Sederim and their own family to run. They couldn't come, right? But the Bachrim, they were all eating in the yeshiva, so they quickly made a Seder very quick, and they ran to go watch the Rebbe. They didn't get a seat, but they had to stand in the back.
Until it was too crowded, would be able to. The stories that they would push people out. There was no room.
Yeah, there was. They had to, and they weren't able to talk to the Rebbe or anything. But the Rebbe just had to say their. The Rebbe in general didn't talk as so much when he was by in his father-in-law's house. He was with Derech Eretz. He continued the same. They used to set up the place for the Frierdiker Rebbe by the table, and they put the chair was set up, and the older son-in-law was the shag used to sit was on the right, always on the right side, so he sat in his place, and the Rebbe was on the left, and that's how it was. And they used to have the Seder there, and people were able to watch the Rebbe doing the Seder. The Rebbe used to always, in the beginning of the Seder, announce that you should remember that the Arizal says that you should say the Haggadah b'koil ram or v'simcha. You should say it with simcha. The Rebbe didn't lead the Haggadah by the Seder. He had someone else. Every year there was a Yid there, who his job was to be the Makri Haggadah. He would say the Haggadah out loud, and the Bachrim would always want him to be quieter so they could hear the Rebbe. But he didn't realize, he just kept on saying loudly the Haggadah.
He didn't say Perushim on the Haggadah? He just read the Haggadah as reading?
Yeah, he just said the Haggadah.
Yeah.
During the Haggadah, he didn't interrupt anything during the Haggadah. By the meal,
To watch the Rebbe say that Haggadah was a wonder.
by the meal they spoke. During the meal, right? During the thing he didn't speak. And but the thing was, even though the Rebbe every year would say that they should say it with the simcha, but every year the Rebbe would be crying by the Haggadah. It was a very emotional time, just like they talk about by the Rebbe by his Tekiyas. The Tekiyas Shofar was an unbelievable scene by the Rebbe in the New Year, and it was a lot very emotional. Also, the Seder of the Rebbe was very emotional by the Rebbe. By Hallel and by the ending, the Rebbe used to cry for all the shtickler. But he was very into himself. He wasn't around. He wasn't.
There was no kids to ask Manishtana?
No, it was the children of the one who said that. He didn't have any children.
I know.
So they had a child of the one who read the Haggadah. His child would get up and would say the Manishtana, and the women, all the Rebbetzins ate in the kitchen. So she came to watch. So it was very hard for the Rebbe to eat a matzah. He also didn't have teeth. So he didn't have teeth, and the Rebbes have a thing, they didn't want any fake teeth. No false teeth in their mouth. No fillings, no false teeth. So something already from the Rebbe Rashab seems it had something to do with the fact that having fillings, you could have problems of basar v'chalav and chametz, have a piece of metal. That seemed like why their chumrah was, but it doesn't say clearly.
But it says somewhere that the Rebbe asked the Frierdiker Rebbe if should I get full. He says there should be nothing false in your mouth.
Yeah, they didn't want anything false, so he didn't have teeth, so he didn't have teeth.
But the Rebbe would bleed when he ate the matzah. There was a lot of blood.
So Lamaitza, he had the matzah.
Many would wipe his mouth with a napkin.
The reason why he...
And the Bochum tried to take the napkins because they wanted something that the Rebbe left over. And the Rebbe would say chametz.
Wow.
The Rebbe wanted... Why did the Rebbe take a full piece of grain? Because there is a shita There's an opinion which says that you're not supposed to grind the grain
Because it weakens
the taste. So the halacha is, most opinions say that's not a problem. So we're not choishish for that. That's why we all grind it. But the Rebbe seemed like he was concerned for that opinion. He didn't say why, but that's seemingly what he was doing. He was concerned for that opinion, so he took a chunk together with it all. So it was a very difficult.
But he couldn't even chew it. It's like, what was the point? He couldn't chew it.
To be sucked.
However they eat, people don't have to eat. I
The
don't know.
grain, you had the red one or the white one?
Oh, white.
The white is the really strong one.
Yeah.
The red is just the beets.
The red is that they put beets on the grain and sweetens it all. They take beet juice. You can make your own. You just take some grain grate, take some beet juice, and pour it on. You have what they sell in the stores, horseradish. That's what it is.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, just probably add some sugar. You can look in the ingredients. So,
The Rebbe had false teeth.
no.
He didn't have false teeth.
So the way when he spoke, he didn't say it sounded
I don't know.
like people who don't have teeth. When they speak, you can see that they're
Well, it counts like this.
yeah.
Not by the Rebbe.
I don't know. Interesting. I don't know why.
None of that.
There's a letter from the Rebbe Rashab.
The Rebbe never smiled with his mouth open. If you see, the Rebbe only smiled like this.
Mhm.
He had tremendous self-control. There's a letter from the Rebbe Rashab.
There's a letter from the Rebbe Rashab. He wrote to his son, the Frierdiker Rebbe, that from the reasons known to you, I don't want anything fake in mouth. He didn't explain the reason, but it seemed like it had to do with the shilas of chametz and different things. Now, so l'maisa, a person is not mechoyev to take chrein. I heard from someone who was a very big machmer mitzvahs, an older chassid. He told me that he has fillings. Because he has fillings and fake teeth, he's worried to have chrein. Why? Because he eats the whole year chametz with these fillings. So these fillings are full of chametz inside. But
everyone's teeth are treif.
so he says when you have the teeth itself,
It's
not a
not
problem.
treif.
Teeth don't know. Teeth are not beileya. Teeth are not
People
beileya.
cover their counters that they could just take a shmata with hot water and clean it. They put on this, they put on this, all kinds of layers.
Teeth are not beileya. They cannot absorb. The problem is only material that can absorb. So metal in there, gold, whatever it is, it can absorb. Now generally it's not a big deal because when you drink something, it's not hot enough you could burn yourself. Only heat that's hot enough that your hand, you remove your hand away from it, that level of heat can take out the absorption from something. That's why you have to kasher it before you want to change from milchiks to fleishiks to basa to chalav or to pesach to kasher. But your teeth, you don't drink such hot food. So, but still in all, he was choishish. And you have people, this person tells me he's choishish, he's careful. Chrein is a davar charif. In halacha, when something sharp can remove something absorbed in a keli. So he doesn't want to have chrein on chametz because he has fillings, so he only eats the romaine lettuce. That's not a problem up halacha. Romaine lettuce is 100% fine. This is just a minig that people take some of each. The halacha is either one is fine.
Our minute is we just take a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of each.
Pinch. Not a
Just to
kazayas.
feel it.
No. The Rebbe himself personally did. No one understands why the Rebbe did it. Up here halacha, you're 100% like we see in Sif Chav Ches, Chamishim Alalo Mitztar from the Kazayas. So there's no issue.
I think that it's not a good idea to mix in grain because the horseradish is so powerful that it's mevatel the taste of the.
It's not Mavatal. They're not Mavatal one another. Since they're all kosher forms of Maror, they can't nullify each other.
He's thinking of something. I think he's talking about the horseradish, the red. Talking about the red horseradish.
No, I'm talking about the white horseradish.
Right. There's only one.
No, he's saying if you mix
the red
it.
horseradish is a dye.
Not a dye. It's beets.
Okay, so it's I mean it's
That's possible. You can't use it.
Okay, but even the white horseradish, it's so powerful that if you take it together with the lettuce, it's mevatel the taste of the lettuce.
So you're saying you shouldn't do it?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Doesn't. Anything which is both, since both of them are...
Both 2 min, same min.
Well,
Yeah.
I personally hold that horseradish is not Yotzi even Avad because it doesn't fit the description of the Talmud.
Well, you have to use chrein.
And okay, well, it doesn't even the names like the Gemara translates it as Chasa and the Rambam translates it as Chasa Ba'aravit.
Well, there's
Right.
5 different types. Chasa is the first one, chazaris, the romaine lettuce. That's chasa.
Yeah.
Right? You know Arabic? What is chasa? Romaine lettuce? So, in Aramaic, chasa is... The Mishnah calls it chazaris, the Gemara calls it chasa, and we have all the different terms that we said before. For it. This is one of the 5 types. So, Yaitza 5 types. What happens? Let's take a look in Sif Lamed Aleph. What is the order? What one should have first? Take a look, Sif Lamed Aleph. The order of the Mishnah is specifically in that order that you should take in that order. Im ein loy chazeres, one does not have chazeres, yachzar acher olshin. You should take olshin. Ein loy olshin, yachzar tamcha, take tamcha.
Ocean again is what?
Endives, something like that.
And Tamcha?
Tamcha is chrein. Im ein loy tamcha, yachzar acher chavina.
What's crane?
Tamcha. Tamcha is chrein.
Meaning the horseradish, the grated horseradish.
Yeah. Yachzar acher chavina. Now, im ein laf fil mar. What happens if you don't even have mar? Yikach eza yarek mar sheyirtza. Take anything bitter, any bitter vegetable.
Even grass.
Why? The halacha is you have to take these 5. The fish ish. There is an opinion that says in Gemara that shekol yarek mar sheroy lachil nikar mar b'lashon Torah. Anything bitter is mar. As long as there is juice which comes out. Pirish k'shemachatchem boy, when you cut it, b'soytanis, and you squeeze it, b'makim chituch, in the area where you cut it, yoitzim men a moil lovin kechalav, a white juice will come out. Upana machsifim, and if its face becomes white, and it's not very green, it's a lighter green. Ka'ale hakreshim ubetzalim, like leaves of onions, v'shar yirakes, ha'noita ksas aloiven ha'noita shachris. It leans to white color, a little bit to whiter, which is close to a darker color. Shekayim bleichlich b'lashon Ashkenaz. Kol makom lo yivarach aleim shikas harishan. You should not make a bracha if you're using another bitter herb. You should not make a bracha on it, because the main halach is like the first opinion that only these 5, it says in the Mishnah, are what the Torah calls as mar. Now he says, avol v'mein lo yarek sheish, if you don't have a vegetable, even that vegetable, sheish v'sraf, which has juice, upon masivim is a white, it's whiter. Take another yarek, at least to have a zeicher to remember about mar.
The whole thing is zecher. The whole say
Right, but there is first of all mar itself. It says it's a zeicher, but the Torah itself. But the Torah itself tells us to take it. Then there's when I do something the Torah doesn't tell me to make a zeicher. I make my own zeicher. So a good thing that you should remember what happened, but you can't say a bracha on it. It's not the halacha. You're not yoitza, but you don't want to forget the concept of maror, so you should have by your seder something which is bitter. Vein kansar kazayis. Don't need a kazayis of it. You don't need a kazayis because you're not yoitza. There's no opinion which says you're yoitza. V'cheim yishu choyle istanis, someone who's not feeling well. When yachol lachol maror, toy shiyilis mat shiyagish tamiris bepil zeicha ba'alma b'lei bracha v'zeu kishi'efshel klal. Someone can't at all eat maror. He should at least chew a little bit, just to taste a little bit bitterness in his mouth, just to remember about it. Even though he's not being yoitz to the halacha, but just to do something.
So the Rebbe was bleeding. Are you allowed to?
I don't know.
I don't see it to bleed just to make them miss.
No, not on the matzah he was bleeding.
On the matzah.
These are chumras. Listen to this. A person has to push himself to Mekayim, what the Chachamim said, Le'achol kazayis, don't eat a full kazayis, ach v'yichalov, even if it's going to be painful. Now, what's interesting is, there's an opinion out there which says, now that we discuss what is maror, there's an opinion out there which holds that you don't, maror really, does, in essence, does not really need to be a kazayis. Matzah needs to be a kazayis. Maror, even a little bit is enough. Let's take a look at the Rush. One of the Rishonim, the Rush.
He said that you should eat.
That's just for the Zeicher Ba'alma you don't have. I'm saying even regular maror, when you have regular maror,
You don't take kazayis.
you don't have to, you would essentially don't have to take kazayis. Because you need to make a bracha on an alachilas maror to make a kazayis. Let's take a look at the Rush. The Rush, back of the Gemara Pesachim, Rabbeinu Asher, right over there. Yeah. He says, the left column where it says Gemara. He says, Tanya, it says in a brisa, Achle Dmai Yatza. Someone who ate maror from Dmai, which was not, it's a suffix if Meiser was taken from it. Yatza. Achle B'miskaven, if you ate it without having kavana, Yatza, Yatza. Achle Chatzayin, Yatza. If you didn't eat it in one shot, you ate half now, half a little later, Yatza. As long as you don't wait in between the eating time more than it takes to eat a pras, meaning the time, 6 minutes, you have to eat everything within 6 minutes. You don't have to eat it in one shot. You can eat a little bit now, wait another minute or two and eat more, as long as you do within the time frame of Kedei Achilas Pras. Now, Mishum de Mevarach al Achilas Maror, Tzarich Yeichel Kazayis. Since the language of the bracha is al achilas maror, you have to eat a full kazayis. Why? Dein achila bepachas mikazayis. But since there's no achila less than a kazayis, but yakis yishonis by karpas when you say shavarachal and bar piyadama ba'alma, you just say a bar piyadama on it. Then maskim alachi, you don't mention anything that you're going to be eating. The word achila. Seems from the Rosh very clear. There's a shita that really maror would not need to have a kazayis. The only reason you need a kazayis because the nusach of the bracha is al achilas maror. Achila is nothing less than a kazayis. So the Indian, if the bracha was different, the nusach of the bracha was different, you wouldn't need to have a kazayis. So this shita bothered a lot of achronim. They struggled with it. How could it be that you don't need a kazayis? So, the Shagas Aryeh deals with this, one of the big Achronim, and he said that the Rosh, it's a mistake, this is wrong. And he brings many, many rayas that no, you have to have a full kazayis. Not just because of the bracha, but just like matzah needs to be a kazayis, just like everything in the Torah, whenever you eat something, it needs to be a size of an olive, a kazayis, so Duviyah needs to be, because not just because the nusach ha-bracha is al achilas maror, because you need to have a kazayis. The Chassam Sofer says that even the Rush never meant that, and he has a different pshat to explain the Rush, and to say even the Rush never meant to say you don't need to have a kazayis. L'maisa, we find that a Talmud of the Rush, Rabbeinu Yeruchim, also said that very clearly you don't need to have a kazayis. It's only because of the nusach habracha. But if the nusach habracha will be something else, le'echol maror, if it would be a different language without the word achila, you wouldn't need to say that to have a kazayis. So l'maisa, it's interesting to see such an opinion. Now,
When Harosh was living, which time?
In the time similar to the Rambam. A little bit after the Rambam. A little after the
800
Rambam.
years ago.
Yeah, a little after the Rambam.
Mm-hmm.
Medieval times.
He
The
was-
Rishonim, medieval times.
It was before Rashi, right?
No. Rashi was one of the first Rishonim. Four
From the first.
from the first. The Rosh already saw Rashi, and I think there's a few places, rarely, but I think he quotes the Rambam in a few places.
The Rosh.
I think so. His son,
Spain.
the son is
Russia
the
and
Torah. His son, the Torah, quotes the Rambam all the time. But the Rosh himself, I think there are a few places where he quotes the Rambam, but very little. I don't know why. If he would have seen him, he should have quoted him a lot. The Rosh was an Ashkenazi, but he fled to Spain. And he became a Rav in Spain.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so he
Convert.
was at the same time as the Rashba. He went to the Rashba's house when he ran away. So he later on lived in Spain the rest of his life. Now, I wanted to bring out there's a
It's
Haggadah.
closer. Spain and Germany. It's closer than New York is to California. So it wasn't
Right.
like he went that far.
Now there's a Haggadah. All the different all the Rishonim and Achronim, everyone wrote their own Haggadahs with their own Pirushim and Halachas.
The same Haggadah, different Pirushim.
Right. Now, there is a Haggadah called Maise Nissim. A Haggadah Maise Nissim is written by one of the big Achronim called the Chavaz Das, Rabbi Yaakov from Lissa, Rabbi Yaakov Luberbaum. He was the one who wrote had a Pirush on the Siddur Derech Chaim, and he has a Sefer Chavaz Das and Shulchan Aruch Yeridea, and he has the Sivas HaMishpat and Choshe Mishpat. He wrote a lot of Sfarim, and he was like in the times of the Alter Rebbe,
So why
maybe a
call
little
it-
bit later.
Why call it Maaseh Nissim? That's where it is now. His name is not Nissim.
Yeah, we
No.
have a lot of Nissim in his life.
I don't know why he called it Nissim.
Haggadah is all Nissim.
You have to look inside the Nissim is I don't. We have to look in the Hakdama. He said something interesting. Nir Kalmakim Nirli in Shulchan Aruch it said you have to have a kazayis. That's it. But what happens if someone doesn't have a kazayis? Doesn't say. For Chori, there's no hope. There's no choice. You're not yoytzer. Says the Haggadah's Ma'asenissim Kalmakim Nirli the Mishin Yachal Lecha Kazayis Maram Achshachayla. If someone cannot eat a full kazayis because he's a chayla. Mikol Makim Mechuyev Lecha Pakas of kazayis. He's mechuyev to eat less than a kazayis.
Yotzer.
At least. Lo yamrinin kim d'vini kazayis pachim kazayis la mitzvah. We don't say, since you're required to have a kazayis, anything less than kazayis is nothing. Dehine, harash, that we just learned by Parakavi Pesachim, kas is el shoynei, mishum javarach al chilas mar, tzach sheyecha kazayis. So he writes, it's only because of the nusach of the bracha al chilas mar, you need to have a kazayis. The kasa tam d'vini kazayim should do lafik today. He doesn't say you're not yoytz to the mitzvah less than the kazayis. We have to say this really he holds midiraisa loy b'nei kazayis that minat Torah you don't need a kazayis. The like sibikra achila gabimar. The Torah doesn't say the words achila by mar. We say by matzah be'erev toichlu matzahs. By the carbon paste, even though it says after chsiv al matzahs amarim yichlu, you should eat the carbon paste up with matzahs amar. The word Yechlu, according to the Rosh, has to be interpreted on the Karban Pesach. Had Yechlu a Pesach koi. The Hoya koi akulam Yechlem have the mitzvah. We should have said al matzah samarim Yechlem. Should eat them. Yechlu means you should eat it. Midechsiv Yechlu. Masha sheYechel ha Pesach al matzah. We should eat the Pesach of matzah samar. Meaning the Torah itself doesn't say, points out anywhere the word achila by mar. L'chein hutzuch harash loimer. Therefore, the Rosh needed to say mitama bracha. Kimitikna bracha l'shem chila shmamina midrabanan by kazayis mar. That midrabanan Chazal required more kazayis, and therefore they instituted the nusach of the bracha al achilas mar l'shem achila. But minat Torah, where does it say? It doesn't say anywhere that Mara needs to have a kazayis. Lafizeh, based on this Rosh, Mishin Yachol L'Kayim Takan to the Rabbanan. Someone who can't be Mekayim the Takan of the Chachamim, Lechol kazayis, because he's a chayla. Tzarech al Kapanim Lechol Pasing kazayis. At least he should eat less than a kazayis.
Test.
Take a taste. Lots is the mitzvah deraisa. Deraisa b'chol shavah mitzvah.
That's logic.
But now he has even further vart, a beautiful vart. Lula Istamfina, if I wouldn't be afraid, Hayisiyam, I would say a big chiddush. He should make a bracha. This choilo eats less than a kazayis. He should make a bracha on it. But he can't say the bracha al achilas mar, because achila denotes that he's eating a kazayis.
Right.
And achila is a kazayis. So he's not eating kazayis. So say a different nusach. He should make a new nusach for him, this chayla. Well, he ask him a bracha lashon achila. V'yivarach al mitzvah mar. Say al mitzvah mar, not achilas mar. Because he's yaitz to the mitzvah mar. He just doesn't have an achilas mar, which mitzvah need to have achila a kazayis.
But no Agada said that.
No, he himself is afraid to say it. He says, I'm nervous to say it. I'm thinking, he says, because of the severity of saying a bracha levatala, and also you change what Chacham said, so therefore don't make this bracha. But for sure, such a person still should eat a little bit apachas mikazayis. Now what about, furthermore, he says a further word, V'avi Merizal, my father writes, I don't know who his father was.
My Nissim's father.
Yeah. The lekri chole by kazayis. For sure, when it comes to kairech, you don't need a kazayis. V'chein masha lashon hapoiskim shediktu chol makim v'tashik kazayis. We see the poiskim always say, by Maror they write take a kazayis. By gabi kricha, by the kairech, it doesn't say the word kazayis. Lohiska kazayis, loy v'matzah v'loy v'mar. By the matzah and the mar of the kricha, it doesn't say you need to have a kazayis.
Do we take it though?
No, we do. Since the kricha of Hillel is only to be a zeicher, and Chacham did not make a second bracha on it, a special bracha on eating kairech. And the ikar time why you need a kazayis is because of the bracha l'chilas mar on the mar. Over here is not that you already yaitza l'chilas mar. Kan bekricha shavak zeicher ba'alma le'tiknu bracha. B'chol shesagi las zeicher lama. L'poil we don't do that. We actually have a kazayis also by kairech, but it's important to think another thing is, by the way, there's another svara to say that someone can be yoytza the mitzvah mar with less than a kazayis. B'chlal, why would someone be yoytza midiraisa less than a kazayis? You have many people that you know there are people that make kiddush on Shabbos. Certain communities, they take a little plastic cup of whiskey, schnapps, and they make kiddush by day. They say shahakoni b'dvarei, and they make on some schnapps a little kelishke, a little cup. How they yaitz? They need a revius. This is against Shulchan Aruch. So it's hard to understand this minig, but there are big kehillas that have this minig, and they've been doing this for years in Europe. What's the reason? So
that's the chosh v'shir for the mashkin.
Some poskim say that it's based on a taz. There's a taz which says that you need to make a bar nefashis even when you have a little bit of schnapps, not a revius. Why? He says like this: what's revius? Why b'chlal the Chacham tell us you need to have a revius of wine, a revius? Everything's a revius. What's a revius? That's the level. That's what's considered chashav to be considered a drink. When I say I drank something, at least you have a revius. Less than a revius, not like a sip. It's not
The
like
food is kazayit, drink is revius.
revius. That's a shir. The Taz says when it comes to schnapps, it comes to whiskey. People don't drink a revius. You take a little shot.
Yeah.
Take a little shot. So this shear doesn't have to be a revius. You can make a bar nefashis and even less than a revius. Now, halacha, the Taz's view is not accepted. We hold you have to have a revius by schnapps also. But certain poskim say that's the reason why certain communities are makel by kiddush, because it's going with the same line. If for bar nefashis it's good less than a revius for whiskey, which is called in Lashon Kodesh yayin saraf, yash. The Rosh Tevis yayin saraf is yud shin, yayin saraf yash. So for yash they say they hold they can make kiddush on a little bit of whiskey, and that's what they do. In Chabad, the minig is they in Russia they knew how to drink. They know how to drink vodka. So therefore, they're not yoitza with a little cup
They need a
mashke.
big-
So then they need a revius of mashke.
Real revius.
A real revius for them to be yoitza.
We
But
have some. We have some.
in Poland, in Hungary, those countries, they didn't take
That's
that
why
much.
the bar's closed.
They used to take a little shot glass. That's it. So that's enough. So Lamaisa, Maror is bitter. So you could draw the jump also to Maror and say, you don't need a kazayis for Maror. You need something sharp. Something even less than a kazayis can also give you the feeling of a sharpness. A regular food needs to be a kazayis. Apply the same logic that we just applied by liquids. Apply this chiddush to foods. That chrein, which is sharp, the point is sharpness. So even if I had less than a kazayis, I still feel the sharpness. It's enough. I don't need to have a kazayis. So I want to make it clear. Halacha l'maisa is we have to have a kazayis. That's what it says in Paskim. However, one should know that if someone can't do it, taking a little bit is good, and for sure if they could take romaine lettuce, take romaine lettuce is 100% muhadar. Mitzvah namofcher to take romaine lettuce.
Ale katif. It's, good.
My father, all the years, always saw that his father used to always by the Seder take chrein. He would always have the chrein. He wouldn't take the romaine lettuce because he never saw this in Russia. What's this lettuce? You take the chrein. So he take the chrein, but he wouldn't take like a big sheer kazayis. He wasn't taking so much. My father always was quiet. He didn't have derech eretz. He didn't want to say anything, but he didn't understand why every year he's only taking a little bit. But you see that in Europe, people were older people were weak, whatever it is. They felt they were makel. They took a little bit of kazayis based on this rush, and based on what we're reading in this Haggadah Ma'is Nisim and other poskim which say
That's the
that minhadin you can have less than a kazayis minhadin.
for something that you're knowing to eat less than a kazayis.
I'm adding in the svara. I'm adding in the svara. It doesn't say that. The svara itself doesn't say. The svara itself is that he wants to say the svara is because the Torah never said the word achilu by mar.
Right.
Ayis atzis matzis amarim yichluhu means the carbon pesach should be yichlu, should be eaten with matzah mar. The word eaten is on the carbon pesach. Matzahs we know we need a kazayas because we have another pasuk that's ba'erev teichel matzahs. But mar there's no pasuk. Other pasuk are going to have to learn that matzahs yichlu includes mar, includes mar. But you go with that if someone can't, you can eat less. If someone really can't do chrein, he should be only doing lettuce, romaine lettuce, because the whole thing is just a minik to have a little bit of both. The ikr is to have the romaine lettuce.
Why, if you machmir, it said the Maror is a zecher.
You need a
by
minyan.
Maror.
Yeah.
Well, it's next time.
By
What are we gonna do
Maror
now?
Chayim, right?
It's not really very well.
Moshe's next door.
No, he's
No,
not.
no,
He's not there.
I saw him there before the shir.
He said, but he said he's not coming from there.
10 o'clock, they
You have to go to a house. Yes, we'll go.
It said, וימררו את חייהם בעבודה קשה בלבנים.
Yeah.
If you want to really be machmir, you take a levena and you eat it. That's a real machmir.
Okay, shkoyach.
Well, we're going to be mamshik this next week, or we're going to do something else?
I think we'll do something else.
Fascinating.
A lot of discussion about the sheet of the Rosh. All the Achrayim are busy. Some sorry for Shagasai. All the Achrayim are busy with understanding the sheet of the Rosh. Did he really mean it? The Shagasai says that's what he meant, but he wants to be choylek with the Rosh. He can't say this. Some Soifer tries to say he never meant it. Make a new interpretation. But Lamaisa, they brought up already that the Talmud of the Rosh, Ben Yeruchim, another one of the Rishonim, he writes very clearly this. So you're going to go and reinterpret the Rosh, but you see his Talmud himself also says that the Rosh did mean it. But the Rosh didn't say you don't have to have a kazayis. He just says that the only reason you have to is because of Nusach HaBracha. And the Ma'is Nisim explains why is Taka the Nusach HaBracha that way. Say on Mitzvah Maror, because Chachamim wanted you to have a kazayis. It was a Mitzvah D'Rabbanan. But the Raisa you didn't need to have. That's why he said a choilu can't. At least let him do the Raisa and take some of it.